Alright, hello everyone that has tuned in. Bacon, I see that you're in here. No, we haven't said anything yet, so no need for an audio check. Unless I can tell that it's working now. But thank you for always looking out for me, Bacon. Very much appreciated. But I've got more than just you to look out for me this evening. I got kind of a late audible for someone to join me up in the booth, and that'd be Valentine. Why don't you say hello, Valentine?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, so you have some things to work on, and we're gonna enjoy the race together while you do so. And we're, as you can see on your screen right here, we got Hungary coming up for Formula 2 action this evening. So, what are your thoughts on Hungary there, Valentine?
Oh man, this is probably becoming one of my favorite tracks. Very slowly, the better I get at F1, like slowly, the more complicated tracks are kind of becoming my favorites. It feels kind of like a roller coaster when you get in the zone, when you can really just feel the turns and you're just staring at the next turn. Really fun track to drive on. The overtaking opportunity into turn one is a very impactful zone. Definitely looking forward to a lot of action going into there.
Thanks, Bacon. I meant to type that, but yeah, I know.
Thanks, Backman.
Yeah, yeah, back not. Yeah, oops. But whatever. He gets the point. Yeah, but Hungary. I mean, take it or leave it. It's a part of the calendar. Like you said, it's a difficult track to overtake on. Driving it is fun. Side by side racing on it is tight, and it can be fast in some points. It's very technical. Um, you really have to rely on when you're racing by yourself in maybe a pit stop strategy battle here to really make up time, because being caught behind someone could really be detrimental to a solid finish. And we'll see if that can take place this evening. Who has the best strategy, as well as who's got the best overall pace. Qualifying is absolutely huge here, as well as turn 1 and 2 right out of the gate. So it's going to be fun to see what takes place. Of course, 2 DRS sections, as you can see there. One proper one, then a little bit of a half one. They kind of gave that to us for minimal reason. You see some passes coming around turn 2 there, and DRS helps out ever so slightly, but not a crazy amount. It's mainly coming into turn 1 and then lining them up into turn 2. But it's a great track. The lobby's readying up. We're about to get into it here. Qualifying is about to come underway in about 20 seconds time, or actually no, a little bit longer than that. But yeah, I mean, Hungary's just a great track. Next track up is actually Austria here. We can pull that up quickly. We got a little bit of time to talk about that. So what's your take on Austria there, Valentine?
Oh man, the Red Bull Ring. There's hardly a better race to look forward to on the calendar besides maybe Monaco. You have potential sub 1 minute lap times if you get on the right strategy, get the right driver. You have overtaking attempts all throughout the very short track. The DRS zones into turn 1 and turn 3 definitely provide amazing racing, both wheel to wheel and overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, it's 3 DRS zones there, only 10 turns, very quick sector 1, kind of, you can call it technical sector 2, and then another fast sector 3, so a lot of places to overtake there, and we'll see all the drivers head there next week. But like I said, this week's time this week's time, that doesn't make, this week we're in Hungary, and we'll see what Hungary can do for all these drivers here, as we're about 3 seconds away from qualifying here. Who do you want to jump on board this evening, Valentine? Who are you feeling?
Oh, we got to give love to the guy Bacon. Always a solid racer. Sets a very decent time. It's always up high in the field. Definitely stick around with him and get a decent view of how this track really works. And he's come a long way since he switched to the wheel. Really, probably one of the most improved drivers that I've come to know in the Midwest League. In Midwest League, I'm sorry. As you see, definitely hitting his apexes, getting those turns, using the track limits to the fullest. And right here, we have a tricky turn right here. Very easy to lose the back end right there.
Especially on the
Also
curb
right
as
here,
well.
especially on the curb of death, absolutely.
Yeah, but he starts to work his way in through sector 2 here. Pull up the track map here. We're just coming and swinging through turn 9. like you said, doing a very good job of extending the track limits as much as possible. He's currently leading qualifying here on the one-shot quali. Goes extremely deep, and that's it, and validates the lap, and that's all she wrote for Impossible. That hurts. You could just see him go that little hair over the line, and that's all it takes, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know he's kicking himself after seeing the purple Sector 1, Sector 2 by far. Just that one little inch he needed to get that good lap time, and just unfortunately stewards didn't want to give it to him.
Yeah. Comes down to a game of inches, and it also comes down to a game of tenths of seconds, and it looks like Super Ninas is going to take pole by just that, ahead of, I think it was Big Mac? I'm not sure, I've never...
I believe it was Big Mac by about a tenth, yeah.
Yeah, so it's yeah, or Big Pack, uh-oh.
Pack.
Pack, there
Big
we
Pack,
go.
Big Pac, whoever.
Okay, there we go, fair enough. So, yeah, Super Ninas, the F2 specialist, taking pole once again. Big Pack, representing Mexico in the MP Motorsport, just a tenth out, as well as El Majaco, are both within a tenth but not close enough. Kate Thomas sitting on the second row with El Majaco. Darkness King and Hotspot beside each other. A. Daltoni and the Garris Fac. Nikki and Team B7 Racing on the top 10, and the disqualifications and the no times go to Impossible, Jose Miguel, Tono, VTEC, and Jinnit to win it. So, Impossible starting in the back of the pack there. Not fully back. He did disqualify after a couple of other drivers, so it sees him goes up a little bit, but obviously not what he was hoping for. Now you're a Bacon fan. I know you are. You guys have a good relationship, so I'm expecting for you to say he's gonna come out with a really solid finish here. But what's your prediction here for future race for Bacon?
Well, unfortunately, he is a very good racer, and like I said, one of the quicker ones that I've seen come up the ranks slowly throughout Midwest. However, when it comes to wheel-to-wheel battles with people, depending on the driver, it's when he tends to get in a little bit of trouble. So depending on how he's going to be racing tonight, how cleanly he can get through the field, if his strategy works out for him, he definitely watch for him to be the yeah, that thing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But like I kind of brought to the attention earlier on the stream there, Hungary can be a very tight circuit at times. So it's really going to take a lot out of Bacon here to jump up throughout the order. But Super Nina starting up on the front row as well. Now you've raced Super here. You've I'm sure a couple of times you know kind of his pace and everything. Now, are you as surprised as I am to see how much better he is in F2 compared to a Formula One car?
Not really. You need to have a different driving style to drive the F2 cars, and typically you'd see the slower people, kind of like Spaceman at first, when we switched over to 2021. He was really leading the charge in the F2 cars, which surprised me, but just as well, Super, he was kind of one of the D3, D4 guys with me um, last season. Yet, however, here he is in D2 or in F2, giving Jacko and Janet runs for their money weekly. Definitely happy to see someone else up there in the front besides Jacko or HSVDT.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It's yeah, it can be. No, it's not boring. Obviously, the heavyweights are kind of duking it out for sure. So, but it's always good to see one of those guys that just comes out of nowhere to grab a podium. Like off the top of my head, I believe it was Bacon actually did that in Austria last season. So that was always a fun. It's always a fun sight to see when someone's able to kind of do that. But now Super Ninas is turning into one of those guys with how good he is in F2. So we'll see if he can keep that going here in Hungary. Just wanted to point out I was trying to think of driver of the day.
Yeah, I was trying to say look out for Bacon to become driver of the day, but I couldn't remember. Like, what's the term for the person that gets the most positions? I can't remember.
We do hardest charger, I guess. But anywho, lights out and away we go. As I never really used that, but I might as well use it there. Big Pack losing a couple positions right out of the gate. El Majaco down the inside on Super Ninas. Cuts turn one, not too much. Super sends it deep and around the outside. Still holding on to first place. Big Pack moving down a couple more positions as Darkness King picks up a spot. Hotspot as well. Jose Miguel and VTEC battling it out for 14th and 15th there. Nikki is really close to A. Daltonian there. So take a peek at that, and A kind of comes across and doesn't look like he gets any contact on the wing. Hotspot right on the back of Big Pack as Big Pack is trying to get the positions back. Goes off deep around that hard left-hander there of turn 4, and we swing around the slightly quick right-hander of turn 5 with a curve of death, as we brought up before. Nicky losing a position to Impossible Bacon, as Impossible Bacon has already picked up 3 spots from the start. Jinna Twinna is picking up 4 spots as he gets position on Tono, and he's got the Garrus back not too far ahead for him trying to take another position there. But yeah, we see Big Pack losing 3 spots right out of the gate. He's really close to Darkness King, but that's not the start that you want, especially in Hungary, hey? Oh, and he breaks leap, sorry, and he gets the back of Darkness King, and now he's losing another position as well as his front end plate, his right end plate there, and now he's back down into 10th place, and it might be, yes, it is 10th place with the Garrus back sending around the outside through the second final turn of turn 13. But ouch, that's not what you want to see. Big Pack, not the best start for you. Who are you on board with there, Valentine?
I've been riding on board with Bacon. I was on board with him when he overtook Nicky. He unfortunately went a little bit wide in that corner, and then Bacon seized the opportunity and went up nice and tight on the inside. And as I say that though, Nicky coming back at Bacon on the inside, trying to make it wheel to wheel, coming in right up Bacon's gearbox. This is going to be a dangerous overtake if he tries to make it stick a little too much. Oh. Racing though.
Yeah, good clean racing for sure. There was actually a fun little battle there from 11th to 13th. All those drivers really duking it out for position on track. Back on the Garrus back here, he's into 10th, losing 2 positions off of the race start. Everyone's pretty much gained positions with Big Pack, unfortunately having to pit right out of the gate after lap 1. Actually, he's throwing on softs, so those I don't know if those will make the whole race here with 19 full laps here at Hungary. Can be heavy on tires at time as well, so a lot of these drivers are starting with the medium and obviously are going to be ending with the soft. I think Big Pack is unfortunately going to have to pit another time. So yeah, it's looking a little bleak for the man right now. Elma Jacko taking the fastest lap, sitting second right now. DRS is enabled now as we swing our way through turn 1. Does the lead pack, and we've got this nice little conga line going all the way down the pit straight here. As Impossible Bacon takes a look at AE Daltonian as AE goes wide. Now Impossible's alongside AE Daltonian, looking to swing it around the outside here through turn 2, and yeah, looks like he's got it done here, but he's got to try and hold him off in turn 3. Can AE get a good run out of turn 3? Looks like he does, but Impossible does just enough. That's just enough pace where AE won't be able to warrant any sort of a pass coming through turn 4. Actually sends it a little bit late and loses some major pace. And Elma Jacko overtaking Super Ninas. What happened to Super there? Jacko's up into second. Did you catch that at all?
I did not. I was riding on board with you, watching Bacon overtake Adol. As soon as I looked up, Jacko was overtaking Super. I assume he probably got a little bit loose right there in that corner, and Jacko sees his moment right there.
Oh, and there we go.
Oh, and yeah, and Cake coming out of nowhere, making a move on Super right there, as Jacko's almost driving away from Super, but Cake, eager to get that top spot, trying not to let him get too far away, stay really close to that DRS range for when it gets activated right on this lap, I do believe.
Yeah, they will have it now. Yeah, Super's just lost first and second in a matter of 1 lap here, so we'll see if he's going to be able to close that gap back down and maybe you go do a little bit of an undercut. We'll see. The F2 cars are a lot easier to overtake, well, you know, on track in comparison to F1 cars. Flirts with danger and gets that tire just up on to one of those concrete curbs there. One being around turn 2, the other one being around turn 5, so very dangerous here, but it's actually Cake Thomas pulling away from Super Ninas now.
Yeah, a couple spots back there. I'm keeping an eye on the battle between Hotspot and Impossible Bacon. Hotspot, oh no. Super.
Yeah, Super's actually not racing right now.
Oh. Super.
Okay.
Strikes again.
That's unfortunate. But here we go. Impossible Bacon now working on hotspot. Like you were saying, very close between these two drivers. In it to win it as well. Looking at the inside move on AE. Tony tries to outbrake him. AE gives the space. Down through the inside, it goes to win it with a lovely move. And picks up 7th place. And that was just coming into turn 12. So up into the top 7 is Jin. And I was going to try and catch his countrymate of Impossible Bacon. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, don't want to take your eyes off the battle just yet as AE gets DRS on the straight and Jennett trying desperately to break the toe of AE. AE, very respectful racer. Good hard battles to both Bacon and Jennett. Definitely didn't just let him drive around him. Putting up a good fight, good clean racing. Hopefully he can exploit a mistake out of Jennett, push him a little bit, cause him to go off of his line and maybe make a re-overtake. But as I say that, Jennett breaking away a little bit now, 1.7 seconds the difference. Looks like he's going to be hunting down hotspot his teammate real soon.
Yeah, Jin has definitely found a groove here. VTEC comes into the pit. There's surely got to be some sort of damage to do so, as he did start on mediums. Nikki is also starting to work on A. Daltonian now, so A. Daltonian's good qualifying seems to be... I mean, helped him out for the first 5 laps, but ever since this race has opened up, he's been slowly getting overtaken and gone down the order. It's time for Impossible Bacon to try and get through the bot of Super Ninas. He wanted to break deep on him, and now he's got both of the MP Motorsports right on his tail. Those are
definitely a daunting. Yeah, I think they're in Campos, aren't they?
Yeah, they're Campos.
Yeah. Campos. Yeah, definitely a daunting sight to have teammates behind you, especially one of them. Oh no.
We'll see. It looks like that's VTEC just around turn 2, or at turn 3 here. Oh, and unfortunately we won't get to see it as they were able to clean it up. But I think he just might have got a little bit of oversteer. He looked like he went into the wall on the left side of the track there. So unfortunately that's it for VTEC's feature race. We got a safety car. Let's see. Kind of changes things here. I'm not sure if any drivers are going to come into the pit with them starting on the mediums and having to finish off the softs. I don't think the softs will be able to go that long.
I agree. Maybe Big Pog pitting right now, looking like probably going to be getting on either his old set of mediums or possibly has a new set sitting somewhere. Definitely a good opportunity for him. Set a really good qualifying pace. Going to bunch the field back up. Give him a good chance to make something of this disaster of a race so far.
Oh, he's actually got softs.
Oh.
No. Yeah, you're totally right. Mediums. Those needed to be mediums.
Those had to be mediums. Unfortunately, that definitely means he has to take another stop. At least he has a tire advantage. He's the only one currently in the field running on softs, as everyone else is still on their old mediums. I assume they're probably going to try to stick those mediums out for 6 or 7 laps or so. And again, that may be Pac's strategy, as he knows that the medium tire runners, they still have to pit to their softs. So perhaps Pac pitting on for a newer set of softs. That way, when he does go on his mediums, they're a little bit fresher.
Okay, so we do see some pit stops here. Four drivers into the pit: Jose Miguel, Super Ninas, Cake, and El Majaco. So now if this is the bot decision of Super Ninas, then that means that Jeff was the one to tell him to pit. So the game at this point thinks that pitting right now for the softs is the way to go. And it seems like, unless that may not be the bot of Super Ninas though. So how can I tell? TV set racing. Okay, it looks like Super Ninas is back in the lobby. So that was actually his decision to pit.
Interesting decision, is I don't think the sauce will make it the remaining 9 or so laps that are gonna remain after the safety car.
Now, do the C compounds come into play for F2? Do you know? I don't know. that might be because if it's a harder set of softs, then or I don't know the 2021 F2 regulation, so I don't know if they still do this the super softs at all because they're only allowed 2 tire types through the entire Grand Prix. So this one's soft and medium, but I'm not sure if there's a. So these might be the C2. I don't know. They might. That's all I'm trying. That's all I'm gonna say is they might make. I think they'll make it actually. I'll back Super Ninas on this one.
Ooh, AE, unfortunately, I just took a peek at his penalty. It's a drive-through penalty. Possibly speeding under the safety car, which would...
Yes, on the race director there, I believe it will tell us that it was, yes, speeding under safety car for Adaltonian there, so that's going to really hurt his chances at some good points here. Currently sitting 5th. Team B7 Racing is into the pit. Right on lap 8 right now, Big Pack is working his way around track to trying to catch up to the pack. Team B7 is going to come in for softs now. So now with Team B7 being so far back already, this was kind of a free pit stop for him. He only lost 1 positions. He gets 1 lap fresher softs. So I mean, I don't mind this. I don't mind this call by Team B7 Racing because he gets an extra lap now on those tires.
Oh, absolutely smart decision. Like you said, he really didn't lose anything. Just roll the dice and hope for the best.
Exactly that. So we'll take it. We'll take a peek because that's kind of a back of the field battle that Team B7 Racing was kind of having with Tono, Jose Miguel, and we'll see. But yeah, a lot of the quick drivers are on the softs though. Can they get through the field? Or now I'm definitely looking at it here. So those top 4 drivers they're quick on that are, you know, Darkness King and Possible Bacon, Hotspot and Jin. They're quick. They should be able to, with all due respect to Adaltonian and Nikki and the Gersvac and Tono, they should be able to break away from them. Now, will they be able to grow a decent enough gap to maybe get that pit stop, or there's only so many. They really got to open up a massive gap. It's going to be tough. They got to absolutely fly to the gate in that hope that Jacko, Cake, and Super Ninas all get just majorly held up by those drivers ahead of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But then again, we'll see how much they have to baby these softs to get them over the finish line here. This should be the last lap under safety car. So we're going to go back live lap 10. We're going to have 9 full laps to go. And it's... yeah, there's still plenty of racing to happen here. A lot of things can happen. Things can definitely change up quite a bit with through half a feature race in F2. Especially at Hungary, so someone might not warm up their tires enough. There's just so many things that could happen here.
Yeah, with those mediums going to be 9 laps old now, and you have all those soft tire runners with fresh softs. All due respect to Adol, Nikki, Garrus, and Tono, but I don't believe they're going to be able to hold up Jacko for very much longer, or Cake, honestly. They have probably the top 3 drivers just itching behind them to get set loose.
Yeah, it'll be tough. It's more, the difficulty is more for Super Ninas and Cake to try and overtake with the pace of Jacko and not allow him to get too far ahead. So yeah, safety car is in. We'll get on board with Cake and see what he can do. Actually, no, we should get on board with the lead here. So we'll get on board with Jin. And Jin's starting in 4th. Won't you keep an eye on Cake, Jacko, and Super and see what they're doing back there. I'll stay up on the lead pack here.
Sounds good, sounds good.
So here we go. They're trying to time their way around the final turn. It looks like Darkness puts the hammer down fairly early. Half a second separates pretty much every driver here. Jose Miguel was the one to get really caught off there. No overtaking. Looks like it's going to come into turn 1. What
And
about...
Jacko making a move on the inside of Tono as Tono broke a little bit too late as Jacko's sizing up the outside move now into this corner.
Oh, Tono's forcing him all the way around the outside though, and Jacko's forced to give way. And now Jacko's got Cake Thomas all over him. This is a huge pass for Cake if he can get it done. He's got to force Jacko all the way around the outside. Jacko goes off track to hold the position. And Super Ninas is still there. Oh. That was really pushing the track limits on that one.
Just stepped over the track limits.
Yeah, yeah. Very true. He didn't really bother too much. We'll see what Tono's made of here. He's got 3 extremely fast drivers on softs behind him, and he looks like he goes off track. And now he's got 2 of them diving down the inside line. And oh, Cake unfortunately gets a little bit of piece of Tono.
And Super taking full advantage of that as he goes on the inside to the outside for this next corner. It's a very good overtake of Cake Thomas, making a mistake as he now looks at the gearbox of Jacko. Still within DRS range, I do believe Adolf heading into the pit. I picked up some damage. And that's crucial over the next few laps for these drivers to stay within that DRS limit because as you know in the F2 cars, that DRS is much more powerful than an F1.
Yeah. We'll see. Looks like Hotspot allowed Jin to go through there, so now Jin's going to try and catch up to the front 2 of Darkness King and Impossible Bacon. Elma Jacko is now stuck behind Garrus Vac. I think Vac will race him real hard here. We'll see. We did just see A. Daltonian. Oh, he actually served his drive-through penalty, so no driver on the medium that didn't pit after or before the safety car has come in yet. So we'll see when those dominoes start to fall. Hotspot's already lost a second on his teammate Jin. Impossible staying really close with Darkness King, but no DRS like you said. And until the end of this lap, and then we'll really start to see the moves here. But yeah, that pack of 3 there is draped all over the back of Garrus back here, so we'll see how long he's going to be able to hold him off. Cake going deep and nearly making contact with Super there. Okay, so Hungary came to play today, that's for sure.
Oh, there's a great broadcast view of this battle going on between Jacko, Super, and Cake.
Oh, you got the aerial shot?
I have the aerial shot, yeah. It's amazing.
Here we go.
As the fighting between Jacko, Super, and Cake is a saving grace for Vac, giving him a 1-second buffer to Jacko. Now Jacko has to redo the work that he had just put in.
So he is losing some time to the leaders ahead. Jin's trying to close the gap to Bacon, but Darkness King is actually showing some fairly good paces. Jin does set a purple sector 1, so that will close the gap. Team B7 Racing, unfortunately with the penalty there, waiting for one of these drivers to come into the pit on the mediums, but nothing's quite coming yet. I think we should see it fairly quickly here, and that'll vault Jacko up into the lead surely. But we'll have to see how far back Darkness King comes. Maybe Big Packet will be on for a good finish.
After all, agreed.
Ooh, Impossible going deep, and no, still not wanting to come into the pit yet.
These tires have got to be screaming.
Yeah, well, the safety car will help him, and there you go. Like, obviously not that bad because fastest lap was just set on medium, and there you go, Hotspot. So this is going to be pretty much an undercut here for Hotspot. We'll see how far. So he's gonna come way back of the pack, and some fresh softs. We'll see. A. Daltonian still needs to pit as he went in for a drive-through. So technically not a stop yet. Hotspot comes out just behind AE. Jin has caught Impossible now, and ooh, the Garrus Vac and Nikki are battling it out here. Elma Jacko just sits back in 6th and watches on. The Garrus Vac does end up getting Nikki. Does Nikki have damage maybe? No, seems to be fine as we weave our way through the chicane. I'm surprised Jacko hasn't been coming at the Garrus Vac, or wasn't coming at the Garrus Vac a little bit more, to be honest. I thought we were going to see a little bit more from him.
Definitely don't count him out yet. Those softs only 5 laps old, and 2 of those laps were under safety car. So definitely still just biding his time, being very patient, waiting for Vac and Nikki, waiting for that exactly. As now he's going to pick up DRS and a bunch of fresh, clean air to just break away from what he can.
So a lot of drivers are into the pit now. We'll see where does Hotspot come out in comparison. Looks like quite a few of them are starting to make their way out of the pit. A. Daltoni is actually going to re-overtake a couple of these drivers, but he still needs to pit. And Impossible just comes out behind A. Daltonian. Jin and Twinnet is right on the back, and it looks like the undercut of Hotspot didn't actually work at all. Ooh, and yes, there is a little bit of contact between Jin and Impossible Bacon. A couple of drivers very familiar with each other. Impossible closes the door. Jin gets a good run out of turn 3, and now through the hard left-hander, a little bit more contact once again, but Jin gets the move done as he goes up into 9th. And he's got a long ways to go though. Now we really need to see Cake Thomas and Super Ninas coming at Jacko, because this is starting to come down for the race win.
Yeah, and Big Pac, as we were talking about, up into P6 after being in the very back for most of this race. So his strategy definitely working as he goes into the pit.
What happened? Can you see if he has damage? Are you able to tell?
I do not see any damage on his car.
Oh, Jacko goes deep through turn 1. That might open up Cake to send it around the outside through turn 2. It's going to be a real tough overtake, and Jacko's just got the door closed for now, but Cake is right on the back of Jacko here. Swinging her way through turn 3, and yeah, up the hill into turn 4, and Cake takes a look at the inside line. He's still right over Jacko. Wants to go around the outside, nothing quite there, and he's just not giving up. He's still within 0.2 of a second. We're going to weave our way through the chicane of turn 6 and 7, right on the back, and he's getting a little bit of dirty air, and he falls back ever so slightly. But still, he's following him very closely and brings him just back within 0.3. We weave our way through Sector 2 here. We come through the final turn of Sector 2, and it's the hard braking right-hander of turn 12. Jacko can feel the pressure here, and he's got no DRS to help him. Cake needs a really good final 2 corners here, and we might have an overtake, but it actually looks like Jacko is getting the better of him. He closes the gap and needs a really good launch here out of the final turn. Will it be close enough? He looks like he's going to be able to get into the slipstream here. And
Takes a peek at the inside. Very wise though not to try to dive bomb that.
yeah, it looks like just the dirty air, or maybe Jacko's just got a little bit heavier of a rear wing downforce setup, because he gets a lot better traction and launch out of those turns.
Just want to point out Jennett just smashing the previous fastest lap with a 128.
Oh.
Who let the Jennett out?
Oh yeah. Impossible Bacon. Beats it by 3/10 of a second. So Darkness King does still need to pit here. And I'm hoping that he knows that, or else he's going to get disqualified.
I don't think he knows that.
Yeah.
I've been watching him the last couple of laps, wondering if he's like made a pit on lap 1. But no, he's the only driver yet to take a pit, and I really think that he's just getting a little too excited being out in front and forgetting that he does in fact have to pit to win. I don't think you're going to open up a 20-second gap on Jacko.
No.
Much newer, faster tires.
Yeah. He's done good to hold that gap though, but yeah, he's kind of the guy needs to pit, that's for sure.
Largely in credit due to the impressive battles between Super and Cake going on the last several laps, but even as they have been, the gap was 9 seconds a couple laps ago, and even as they go at it, the gap's slowly closing. Those tires in Darkness, definitely wondering what is going on right now.
Oh, Jin moves up into 5th now, but he's very far gone from the equation for a podium. But still looks like he's going to come over with 4th with the disqualification of Darkness King. I'm hoping we don't see it. I'm hoping he comes into the pit. I don't know where he'll end up on track, but yeah, he definitely needs to pit here.
I mean, honestly, he would probably be right around 6th, right behind Jennett, if he was able to maintain this distance. But that gap very quickly shrinking into the 6-second range now in half a lap. And again, still not pitting. Last opportunity, perhaps maybe he's just trying to, at this point, see how far he can go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Now, oh, excuse me. Oh, get rid of that. Okay. Hotspot did actually DM me before this race and said keep an eye on people's fuel because it can come into play here. So I'm not sure if anyone is struggling on fuel. Oh, they shouldn't be because of the safety car. So yeah, everyone should be fine on fuel. So I don't think that'll come into play.
That is actually an interesting topic because I was in a few lobbies a couple of days ago, and I would overfuel my car by a couple of laps, and yet somehow before even I'd get a little over halfway into the race, and it would be reading as I'm a lap over what I'm supposed to be running, and I don't really understand how running in standard mode. I can understand if I had, party mode on all race, but, just standard and a safety car, still somehow winding up needing an extra lap of fuel by the end of the race with the safety car. It's probably an interesting glitch or something into the patch, is what I was wondering.
Yeah, have you noticed that the downforce is a lot easier this patch?
A little bit. Then again, I've actually been trying to pay a little closer attention to my setup, so I was just hoping that I was getting them right for once. As we finally see Darkness King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank God. Sorry, I just had to get. We'll
That
see
was
when he comes out.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I did. That was kind of scary. So yeah, 6th, maybe. Hotspot. He's gonna be battling Hotspot here. No, Hotspot does get the position, and so does Agarus Vac, but he will be able to hold it ahead of Team B7 Racing. So, depending on the and Cake Thomas is right on the tail of Jacko for a second here. I'm not sure what happened to Jacko, but that was within 1/10 of a second.
Oh, we have not been paying attention. Super and Jennett picking up penalties. 3 seconds for the pair of them.
Super is fine. He's just gonna podium, but Jin for sure is under trouble here, as half a second separates him from 5th place. And it looks like he's actually growing that gap a little bit on Possible Bacon, so maybe he's not so nervous as I feel he is. And Jacko going a little deep again through that turn. And Cake trying to open up the line, Jacko just holding him off, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen as that checkered flag is just right around turn 14, and Jacko's going to
Oh, he
hold
gets a
on.
good run. Get a good run. Let's go, Cake.
Very close. Just around a quarter of a second separates these two drivers from first and second. Super Ninas comes over the line third. Jinnit to win it. Shirley will come over the line for fourth. We have some battling in the back of the pack here, actually, as we'll ride this one out. Impossible Bacon comes over for fifth. Hotspot and the Garris back sixth and seventh. Tono with a penalty, so we'll see where all these position changes are going to come. And Garris back, Darkness King finishes in eighth, right behind the Garris back. And there we go. We see Jose Mikel jump up and overtake Team B7 Racing by 600ths of a second. So very close there. And A. Daltonian, after that drive-through, unfortunately is going to have to settle for 14th place. And yeah, that's all she wrote for AE there. Not too bad qualifying from AE, but not the race that he was hoping for. But the feature race is in the books. Jin Twin taking driver of the day. We were actually talking a lot about Impossible Bacon taking driver of the day, but it was actually his other countrymate of Jin to win it doing so. And Jacko doing his best Superman impression as he comes into the podium. I haven't actually seen that before, so that's kind of funny to me. Now, have you seen the moves of IRL Formula One lately?
I have. Albon to Williams, Russell finally achieving the worst kept secret in F1 the last 7 months. The
Yeah.
thing that surprised me the most was actually Bottas to Alfa
Alpha?
Romeo. Yeah, I didn't expect that one. I figured he would have just been thrown out of the league essentially. Like he's a decent number 2 to Lewis because he's just not good enough to really push him like Nico did all those years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bottas, he's gonna be put into another car, and I'm honestly thinking he's just kind of gonna fade. Gonna Kimi Räikkönen way out.
Yeah. Well, Kimi still had Kimi moments, for sure. But Bottas they're completely different tier of drivers, him and Kimi. I think Alfa Romeo is a good move for him. It's tough to see him like kind of go to such a drastic difference in car. I mean, no
Oh,
midfield seats are really open right now. But we'll see what Alfa Romeo can do in 2022 with the all the changes to the regulations. And yes, I know what you're gonna
so
say. Go ahead.
so first thing we noticed, someone might need to go hold hotspot because he's probably crying right now. He even prayed. He even prayed today that there would be no rain, and just could not let him get away with it.
Oh, just couldn't do it. Yeah. Well,
Yes,
sorry,
someone
hotspot.
needs.
It's the way of the game.
Oh, and I'm looking in chat. Vac, he's definitely not happy either.
Oh God.
I have pace and I get this stuff.
Poor guy. We'll see. Well, it's survival of the fittest. I guess you can say. But yeah, you know what? Speaking of hotspot, let's actually plug this a little bit here. Bringing up the driver one line or the Division One lineup here. A lot of our more well-known names in the league represent their F1 teams, and I was talking to Valentine, I believe it was earlier, or I brought it up. I'm not sure. I did bring it up. I can't remember. It was to stream or just to Valentine. But I won't be here for tomorrow's stream, and Hotspot will be doing Division 1 with Jacko as well. So you're going to have to catch that up on our YouTube channel once it comes up here. But right now we have F2 action, and the lights are gone. Darkness King starts up in the front row with Garris Vac. We'll see what Vac can do. He can't do very much as he's already losing quite a bit of positions. Hotspot, speaking of, the man has moved up into third place. Now we got to be very careful, and no. Oh my.
Huge incident. Wow, Hungary in the wet. Who would have called that one?
Who would have thunk? And a full-on safety car comes out, and I did not catch who the culprit was.
I believe I saw a Campos break a little bit too late and initiate hell. I'm amazed there's no DNFs out of that.
Is the camp host of Jin? Yeah, I'm surprised. There's cars all over the place.
I think no, I think Jin's okay. It may have been a hot spot as yeah, he's missing most of his right wing. I believe he may have been spun out.
Catch
Oh boy,
who the
chat's going
culprit.
off.
Garrus Vac. We'll see what Vac can do. He can't do very much as he's already losing quite a few positions.
Good job, Bottas.
Speaking of, the man is moving up into third place. Now we
Oh,
gotta be very
bacon.
careful and
Bacon,
no,
bacon,
no,
bacon,
oh
bacon.
no. Moved up into. I'm actually watching the replay here on the Twitch channel. Now
Yeah,
we
we
gotta
clip
be
things
very
good.
careful and no, up into third place.
See.
Now we gotta. It might have been. I don't want to point names. It might have been Jose. It looks like Jose got into the back of Nikki, and then Nikki went into the Garrus Vac, and then it just pinballed all the way through the turn. And lucky Big Pack and the Garrus Vac were able just to drive straight through and hold their positions up at the front of the grid now. So
Janet taking an interesting line into the pit.
oh, what did he do?
I don't
catch that.
I don't think he's very happy. Trying to overtake Adol, I believe. Adol being a little bit too slow for him.
Okay. Well, let's take a little peek at the position changes here. So we see Vac starting second and moving up to first. Now he was the one, of course, who got the really bad start. He actually, I see him looking back at the clip here, was back all the way in 7th place coming into turn 1. We gotta be very careful and no. He just had a line completely open up for him, like Ocon, I believe it was, back in Hungary there, where the Red Sea parted and he waltzed right through. And after losing all those positions, he gains them all back and then some, going up into the lead. And you know, he's got Big Pack, so we'll see. He had some pretty good qualifying pace. Nicky and Jose Miguel behind him before he gets into the big name drivers of Cake Thomas and Elma Jacko.
Unfortunately, Cake and Tono both with 5-second penalties.
Oh yes, that's gotta hurt. All right.
Not a good race for the Campos crew.
No, that's for sure. That is for damn sure.
As Team B7 taking an interesting line. And a little bit of a moment into turn 1.
So now, what's your best finish on Thursday night in Midwest?
In season 4?
Yeah.
I believe a podium. 3rd.
Okay. What about last season?
Well, last season I won a couple of races. I won Spain, Abu Dhabi. Or no, I did win. I won Baku. Didn't I win Baku this season?
We haven't raced.
have we
We
not
haven't
raced
raced at
there? We
Baku
haven't
yet.
raced. Okay, yeah, it was last season, and it was I won at Azerbaijan and Abu Dhabi. That was my last race on Mercedes.
Were you Division 3 last year? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, there it is, Baku. Okay. Here, one second. Can you hear me? Can you talk in this channel?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we'll stay in here then. This is just the lock channel. The waiting room this channel sometimes doesn't work for people for whatever reason, so I forgot to move us over to this channel after. But whatever, we're good. All right.
Yeah, my best finish this season if at Bahrain.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about what happened last week.
So now, man, Baku is actually my favorite track. I love
Oh,
Baku.
I love Baku.
Everything about it, man. It's overtaking like galore. Tight corners, street circuit, 90-degree corners, which I love 90-degree corners. That's my best.
It's very to the point. Just
Yeah,
turn.
yeah. There's like a tip of the apex that you can hit, and for whatever reason, I'm better at finding it through a 90-degree corner. I mean, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Baku, favorite track. What's your are you able to bring up the schedule right now? Can you see the schedule?
I can. Which one we need?
Out of the next out of the rest of the season, what track are you most looking forward to and least looking forward to here?
I'm definitely looking forward to Baku, like we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my more favorite tracks on the calendar. My least favorite, Japan. Japan,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
I racing on it when you're by yourself is fun,
Yeah.
but when you have to actually race people on that track, it's just not fun. There's too many not overtaking opportunities that people try to exploit, and it's just not there. It turns into chaos.
Looking after the break week, it looks pretty awesome. We go Singapore, Silverstone, Baku, Monza, and then China.
Oh
People
man,
give or take that, but yeah, really looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
that's an F1 fan's wet dream right there.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, but here we go. Back restarts us here. Big Pack gets a really good jump on him. We're in the full wets. Down the inside, takes a peek at Big Pack. Vac breaks deep and slides through the turn. Pack jumps up a spot.
Oh, Nikki.
Even more chaos here. And yeah, Nikki's
Into the rain. Oh god.
facing the wrong way. Somehow gets out with not getting hit. A Daltonian is on Tono, and I don't know how he did not get hit coming across the track there. But now it's Big Pack, and this race could be all Big Pack if he can find some solid pace in the rain here. And the Gears Fact doesn't look like he's fallen too far back of him early, but we'll see how that carries on.
Big Pac looking like he already understands this track in the wet. Vac a little bit loosey-goosey into the corners, missing the apexes. Oh, as he goes way deep into that corner. Yeah, Pac already a second and a half ahead.
Yeah, and the longer Cake Thomas and Jacko get held up, the better it is for Pac.
Well, absolutely. And again, with all that clean air behind Big Pac, could also kind of be better just to stick a little bit ahead of them and create that dirty air. As Vac again too wide and Cake making minimal contact there. As
Now
Jacko
goes deep and then blocks out Cake through the rest of the turn. Tono now making the overtake on Cake as well. Cake not wanting to give in, comes back at Tono through the final turn and gets the move done.
Adol getting a really great run on Tono out of that turn. Staring at the back of that Prima.
When Jacko goes down the inside line on Vac, Vac does a good job of sending it deep in defense. and he's got the full car ahead, and it looks like, oh, nearly gets into the back of the Vac, and A. Daltonian goes down through the inside of Tono, and now he's up into 5th place. Cake and Jacko are right on the back of Garrett's Vac. Cake looks at the inside line on Jacko through turn 4 there, and oh my god, these guys are... It's like they don't even know it's wet, man.
I just want you to look at Bacon's POV right now, because there's 5 cars in front of him, and this entire fight is right on his front door.
Oh,
As Adaltonian, yeah, goes way wide, cuts the corner.
Oh, comes back
no.
And then misjudges the turn.
Bacon.
And Bacon buries him into the wall.
Lex Bacon, unfortunately, Tono cutting him off a little bit there. Bacon has to wait for all that traffic, and unfortunately it looked like he did have some front wing damage as Adol and Hotspot both collect themselves back on track. As I said, once Bacon gets into racing other drivers, it's really difficult.
Well, that wasn't his fault at all. That was Daltonian collecting the inside of Tono there, and then
Tono,
spinning out. Yeah.
Agreed, but yeah, just when he's around people and stuff happens.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you know what? It's like yeah, things just happen to find him on track. Jin at Twinnick gets a really good run, and here we go, battle for 2nd place here. Jacko goes down the inside line on Vac. Vac tries to get a good run out of turn 1, and is he gonna try? He wants to. Jacko goes really deep. If anything, Vac just forces him into a really poor line, and once again has to take a different line coming through the turn, but Vac can't get enough momentum, and it looks like Jacko is able to take 2nd position. But if we're gonna look all the way up ahead, Big Pack is already coming through, or he's always taking the next turn ahead of this pack behind him. So that the Garrett's Vac did a Big Pack an absolute huge blessing there, holding him up for so very long, and now Vac is drifting his way through the chicane there. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I'm on board with Cake, staring at the back of Vac as he did a little bit of avoidance.
Now, we'll really see how good Jacko is in the wet in comparison to how good Pack is. We got a 6.7 second gap between those two. It's quite the tall order for Jacko to try and close that gap and get the overtake. But, you know, it could happen. Super Ninas gets the overtake on Tono as Tono is taking an alternate line through the corner, getting on the grass, the stroll line, if you will. Go. Cake might have a move here. He's into the slipstream of Garrett's Vac. He should be able to get alongside him into turn 1.
Oh, here we go. Turn 1 in the wet at Hungary. It's carnage. Very clean though by Cake.
Oh, and Jin has entered the party as well.
Oh, Jin absolutely just sent it. Jacko goes a little bit wide. Big Thomas still, unfortunately, with that 5-second penalty, doesn't necessarily need to take any pit stop with the wet tires, as there's a yellow flag in sector 1.
It's like Jose and Nikki. Oh.
Yeah. And Nikki just not finding any sort of grip whatsoever. Team B7 picks up a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Jin is looking like an absolute menace here in the wet.
Well, you aren't kidding. Cake definitely not liking having him right up the rear of his car. He has a little bit of a moment, and being very careful, being patient, waiting for a straight. The best opportunity is as Cake goes way wide and opens the door for Janet in the inside. Gets the overtake done. Beautiful overtake and position. And Cake comes back.
Oh, very close between them.
Good racing. Definitely well acquainted with each other throughout Midwest. Beautiful to see it. Beautiful.
Yeah, solid racing. They've definitely had battles from time to time. As you see, Jin goes fastest there. Darkness King looking like he's really close to VTech as they're having a pit lane or pit straight drag here, and VTech's trying to break the toe. And Darkness King gets enough of it, and now he's going to send it way deep down the inside line of turn 1 here. VTech having to go all the way around the outside, and he does a good enough job.
Makes it thick.
Ooh, nearly a little bit of he got some oversteer snap there. And
Yeah,
Jose
VTech.
Miguel loses it just behind. I'm not sure if you caught that, but he went into the wall and the grass, but he's got himself back on track. He's losing his left end plate for his front wing there, so that's that was kind of random. I don't know if you saw that. He just snapped against the wall.
Right now I'm looking at Hotspot sizing up Bacon for the battle for 12th. As Bacon looking a little squirrely, out here.
Yeah, after that contact, maybe the wet, he might be a little rattled and just trying to get some points out of the rest of this race here. Now, do you have the driver standings on the top of your head or on your computer there?
Do I have the driver standings? I could. I couldn't give you something off the top of my head.
Now, last that we saw, it was Jacko leading the way with Nina second and Impossible Bacon third. Jin fourth and Hotspot fifth.
Okay, yeah, I do have the previous, the current standings, I guess, but yeah. I just haven't added Hungary's yet. Currently,
no, fair enough.
It was Jacko in first, Super behind with only 12 points behind him, and Bacon was only 3 points behind Super, with Jeanette, Hotspot, Blackley following them, and then we have a reserve with Adaltonian and Mahi. Nikki, is Nikki a full-time driver now, or is he still a reserve?
I don't know. I just show up and talk about this stuff, man.
He's a reserve on the chart right now. I'm sure I'll have to update it soon, but yeah, that's the current standings. I assume with Jacko's pretty decent performance, it didn't change much.
Okay, so Jin finished fourth of that last race. He needs to try and overtake Jacko here because Jacko currently is going to get much more points than, or not much more, but he'll get more points at the end of this full Grand Prix. And it looks like VTech has gone off. Yes, he has. It's around the chicane, kind of an odd area to do so, actually. But yeah, Jacko, and then Jin follows him with a drift through the turn. It looked like Jacko kind of mistimed his braking point. That's surprised and scared Jin into mistiming his braking point.
Yes.
Oh, this battle, these guys are so close. Cake Thomas actually stealing the fastest lap away from Jin there. And ooh, Jin was lining up, and Jacko goes super deep through turn 1. Jin forces him right on the edge there, up on the curb, and they're dragging it down to turn 2. And it looks like Jin's just got it. Yeah, he just got the move done, got the elbows out, and yeah, forced his way through. Simply put, and up into second place goes Jin. And we'll see if Jacko can catch him. And a little bit of oversteer snap from Jin, and then Jin puts him right on the. Oh
no! Raggy.
Yeah, indeed. Jin's got some major wing damage here. I think he's just going to come into the pit. But he's slowing up Cake, though. Oh. We're on lap 11 here. Big Pack is coming around the final couple turns here. He's going to start us on lap 12. 3 full laps to go. Who do we have in the pit? Is that A. Daltonian retiring? and Jin unfortunately spins out again. Super jumps up into fourth, and he's got a podium not too far ahead of him with the penalty. And yeah, Jin's going to come into the pit, and I think he's going to retire as well. Oh, he misses the pit.
And retires anyway.
And retires. Tough go for the Campos driver there. Really tough go. But we've got a venture on here. Big Pack surely has this one wrapped up. He has done a really good job. He got the lead early on, overtaking the Garrisvac, and has not looked back here.
Absolutely, with all the battling going on between second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, Pac loving that clean air, getting a huge gap, not having to worry much about anything, just a decent Wednesday night drive out in the wet in Hungary.
Pretty much, yeah. You can't complain, really. It's a drive out in the rain can be peaceful if the rain isn't too bad. 3-second penalty, that's all right. I'll take it. No worries there. He's got a massive gap, so hopefully he can hold it out and get, from my knowledge, his first Midwest F1 League win. That being in F2, but still, a win's a win's a win in my books.
Win's a win, absolutely, especially in F2. F2 is a pretty good proving ground for people that really have to know how to drive these cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of really quality drivers for sure, so yeah. Win in F2 is almost as good as a win in Division 1, so a lot of Div 1 drivers do race here in F2. And lap 13 is where we sit. Big Pack working his way through turn 2. Closest battle on track right now kind of sits between Darkness King and Tono. And Darkness King actually has 2 seconds less of penalties. He's actually pitted here. Tono going deep through turn 1, so this is going to bring Darkness King into a potential overtake around the outside line in turn 2. He's got the pace advantage coming into the turn. Super Nina's picking up a late penalty. That's going to hurt him, actually. Yes, it will. So that will take him off the podium with Cake Thomas's 5-second penalty here. And Darkness King still holds on to 6th place. And yeah, the difference of penalties there is still going to see Darkness King hold on to 6th at the end of this. And 2 seconds back of the Garrisvac, but they're tied on penalties there. So nothing to see there, really.
Yeah, as you were saying about having a win in F2, I love racing in F2 only because I've raced all of these guys in F1, and just being able to drive a car and keep Jacko behind you for a couple of turns is really nice. Makes you feel good about yourself. In F1, that does not happen. Between Jacko, Jennett, definitely Bacon, getting driven around anymore. Not a fun feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still keeping an eye on this battle for 6th place. Tono sticking pretty close to Darkness King, staying within 6/10 as Darkness takes a little bit of a tire off into the grass for turn 1. Oh, and breaks really deep, but Tono breaks just as deep. Quite a few people picking up penalties as Big Pac picks up a 3-second. Cake still sitting with 5. Super Vac, Darkness King each with 3. And Tono as well still sitting with 5 seconds. and Team B7 and Jose as with 3, as O'Cake making a dive on Jacko and made a little bit of contact, pushes Jacko off track, but Jacko retaining second place, as Cake taking a very interesting inside line, trying anything he can to unsettle Jacko's car. Gonna have to get a really good run as Jacko, a very, very poor apex out of that turn, but manages to stay ahead and interrupt Cake's progress. But Cake is gonna get it, and that's the end of the race. Okay, that's what happens when you don't pay attention.
Yeah, that's all she wrote, I guess.
Heck
Here
of
we
a
go. Okay,
battle
little.
though.
Oh, Nicky spins out, and he's gonna lose a couple positions there. I'm not sure if him and Hotspot were battling at all. And Impossible Bacon wants to give him the position. VTech says, "Screw both of you guys. I want both positions." Nicky.
And Nikki, you.
Oh,
Oh,
and
come on.
I think
Bacon
Impossible.
cannot catch a break.
No, I think Bacon was trying to knock him
Oh.
straight. Oh
Poor
God.
Bacon. Everyone wants a piece of him.
Yeah, too bad. Poor
Oh
guy.
boy, what's he
Poor
doing?
guy.
What's he got for us? What he got for us? Oh, okay, Nikki, we're just gonna be pushing everybody across the line. That works. Oh, that was beautiful.
Okay, we might have a little bit of yeah. Okay, so these last two drivers here are on even time penalties. There's no more rain left, so the track is going to be at its most dry. TB7 Racing drifting around turn 13. And
Oh,
now through turn
Jose.
14, Jose doesn't look like he can get the hammer down on
Oh,
time.
has a snap of oversteer right there. Has to correct the car.
Yeah.
Good little battle though for the final positions. A decent showing for sure.
Alright, a little bit of celebration. Crash McQueen, you monster. How dare you stroll us? What did I do? Impossible, please elaborate. What the hell did I do? Do you know what he's talking? Who did the BOTAS crash? Oh. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay, well, anywho, who cares? It's over, everyone's happy now, it's Wednesday night, you know, it's hump day, you're on to the back half of the week, so everyone just chill out, we're having a good time here. But anyway, we see Big Pack with his win, Almajako second, Cake Thomas third, Super Nas and the Garris Vac, the 2x2s, he's coming fourth and fifth. Darkness King in 6th, Tono 7th, Hotspot 8th, VTech 9th, Impossible Bacon 10th, Nikki 11th, Team B7 Racing 12th, Jose Miguel 13th, and the two DNFs go to Jenna to win it, Nate Daltonian. And I'm not going to say it, but that is your feature race order right there as well. Actually, I'll get the podium shout out. Jacko, Cake, and Super Ninas. 1, 2, 3 there. Now, did Hungary disappoint you at all, or is it as much as you could dream?
It was Hungary for real. It ate up all the drivers in the feature race, and then definitely took a big old swig of rain there in the second.
Yeah, that's for sure. Really.
I'd say Hungary definitely collected a few more bounties tonight.
Yeah, it made it the rain made it for sure a lot more difficult than than it could have been. But we're gonna go from that to, you know, not the opposite, but a very different track of Austria next week. So it'll be different for the F2 drivers here, going from such a technical circuit to such a speed circuit. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for joining me in the booth here tonight. That was a nice little surprise. Always good to have you. You've been around it once or twice before, so it's good to hear from you.
Well, it's definitely nice to get back in the booth a little bit. Been kind of in the background with the sheets and everything, and I'd appreciate getting the shout outs and the love that I do. But it was nice to join you in the booth here tonight. Definitely a change of pace I needed. Definitely looking forward to Austria as well. Super fast track, brings out the best in a lot of us. Surely to get a bunch of really good racing across all divisions.
Yeah, no, completely agree. We'll see what Austria can feed us next week. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow night, there won't be any live Midwest action for you to watch for anyone that is interested. It will be Hotspot who will upload his video with the co-commentary of Jacko. So go check that out when it's up there. It'll be up Saturday or Sunday as per usual. But nothing left for me to say here. You got anything, any shoutouts for you there, Valentine?
No, just shout out to the winners. It was definitely good racing. Y'all saw some great battles between Super, Cake, and Jacko, keeping us entertained there for most of the stream. Lovely to see, and looking forward to next week.
As am I. As my best of luck tomorrow as well in your venture around Hungary. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in. Enjoy your Wednesday as well as your Thursday. Hopefully we'll see you soon, and good night.
Good night.